Attention, everyone. May I have your attention, please? Before we begin, I'd just like to remind you that this is only a test, just a routine drill. So, when the people surrounding you start to choke on their own restless breaths, when they start to claw at you with an animalistic and broken-hearted force, when they start to complain that they are drowning, when they turn pale with unspoken thoughts and burst needlessly into a shower of blood-stained confetti, please, do not be alarmed. It's only natural. It's only right. And this too will pass. Start. Stop. Start. Stop. Speak. Shut up. Speak. Shut up. Speak. Why won't you shut the fuck up? I apologize for that. Stories don't come easily to me these days. I'm always getting sidetracked by these random clumping threads of bitterness and wonder. Bits of past life accumulate in tangled masses upon the achingly propulsive landscape of myself, carving out places for themselves and settling into a hard, permanent, rhythmic pattern of disruption. It wasn't always like this. I used to be able to sit here for hours on end, to look into all of your eyes and weave together the threads of your lonely, fucked up lives into something that seemed beautiful and true. Not anymore, though, not anymore. I'm lost. No stories worth telling. Or too many? I don't know, you decide. Either way, I'm numb. But there is one thing that sticks. One moment that remains branded in fiery twists into the chaotic shell of myself. The moment my heart broke. It didn't happen like I expected it to, like they always say it does. I did not despair. My grief had no stages, my recovery no steps. It was like so many things, just a moment. Just a steady tear through the fabric of time. Just a moment, like a wave in the ocean. Feel the ripples, see the tide tug the sand achingly towards its depths of blue. Problems never to be solved. It happened on a fluid summer day in a sprawling urban world. I was walking along when, without warning, the hot air swooped down and tugged me to the side of the city street. Figures rushed by me, lights changed, sounds contorted and morphed, and in that moment, I suddenly felt an intense rising in the pit of my stomach, a feeling of growing and shrinking all at once, a sense of wonderful dissonance and discovery within the vast, gorgeous world that surrounds me. There were so many people, all the time. So many hands, so many feet, so many lost souls. Swirling around me, clotted in their own heads, forcibly shoving their vision downward into non-existence, all of them assured of their own worth, certain of their own value, unaware that they mean so much less and so much more than they could possibly imagine. The hot air and light buzzed through them, and the street was suffused with the sounds of footsteps and car horns, sounds of eternal longing, unheard cries for help. And then I saw you walking past. Your hair was swept back behind your head, your eyelids peeled open in a perfectly formed gaze. You brushed back your hair as you walked, took a quick look at a non-existent wristwatch on your right forearm. The time was 10:42 a.m. You weren't doing anything particularly special, I guess, but the way it made me feel. The way you made me feel. All simple and warm and lost. Look at me. Please, look at me. Please. You don't know me, I'm sure, but I know you. I've known you for most of my life, and you broke my heart that day. You really did. I saw you from a distance as you breathed and moved and blinked and existed like only you can, and I felt my lion's heart break. Or melt or swell or something like that. That night I lay in my childhood bed and gazed onto the city streets below. The feeling would not go away. So many lives expanding all around me. Every second I waited, every breath I wasted, little flecks of glowing sand draining through my fingertips. I couldn't escape the sense of all that was happening at just that moment. Birth, death, puberty, trains, baseball. A fabric of endless experience, stretching through time and beyond, making a full circle all the way back to the start. I leaned out. The city took a deep breath in. Don't worry about what happened to me. As you've probably figured out by now, none of this actually happened. Or it did, but not where you live. Not in your world. You see, it happened where jumping doesn't end, but instead just goes on and on and on and on. So yes, that's me. Still jumping, still floating, still locked in that fully saturated state. That's why I don't have the stories anymore. I don't think I'll ever get them back. I'd like to address you directly now, if I could. I'm sure you're still out there somewhere, brushing your hair, checking your non-existent watch, feeling some deep, long-repressed, very human urge. You've gotten older since I last saw you, a little sadder, blended a little further into the world. Maybe you even jumped like me. Either way, please know that you didn't lose. You didn't fail. You didn't miss the moment. You just dug a little too deep. I love you so much. The city spreads before you like a massive, dirty, glittering piece of discarded memory. Take it. It's yours. That concludes this annual test, this drill of ours. This comforting little ritual. You've been very nice. Thank you very much. I have such tender feelings for you all. It's only us here, only us little parts of the whole. I would say goodbye, but I know deep down that this is not the end. Nobody leaves. Nothing is truly dead. Thanks, guys.